So today in our series of CSAT through PYQs, we will be looking at the topic of averages. Alright, so we will sort of understand a bit what all things we need to know to solve averages questions. Now it's very simple, all we need to know is to find out the averages, that's it. That's all that is, there is no as such formula or anything, it's just finding out the averages that you should know. If you know that, you can solve all the questions on averages. And this topic is very important for two reasons. Number one, that this topic is very easy. It's very easy. Secondly, more than one question generally come from this topic every year. So at times you may find 3 to 4 questions coming from this particular topic. That's one thing. Secondly, directly 1 or 2 or 3 questions may come. Indirectly, this concept would be utilized in another 2-3 questions. So that becomes very important. Having said that, let's now get started with the chapter or the topic averages. So what do we mean by averages? You might have seen cricket. So in cricket there is a batting average. Bowling average is also there, but let's not go into that. It's not that common. This batting average is more talked about than the bowling average. So we have the batting average. Now what does batting average mean in cricket? It means that, for example, if a player is playing their first match, they score, let's say the player scores 10 runs in the first inning, 90 runs in the second inning, then let's say 120 in the third inning, then gets out on 0 in the fourth inning, and then 50 in the fifth inning. Now these are the different innings with different scores: first, second, third, fourth and fifth. Now, if I have to find out the average, the batting average of that person, what I will do? I will add all the runs that the batsman or batswoman or the batsperson, if you would say, has made. So 10 plus 90 plus 120 plus 0 plus 50. So this amounts to what? 270. 270. 10 plus 90, 100, 100 plus 120, 220 plus 0 is 220 only, plus 50 is 270. So total runs, so 270, we got 270 divided by, this is what? This is nothing but total runs they have made. Divided by what? Divided by the number of innings they used to make these runs. So how many number of innings have they used? 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So you divide this by 5. Okay. So 5 goes 1 times, 5 goes 5 times plus another 4 times. Therefore, the batting average is equals to 54. This is the batting average. You might be calculating the weightage of the questions, weightage of different subjects with respect to the questions asked in UPSC. So let's say in last 10 years in polity 150 questions have been asked. So divide 150 by 10. So you will get to know on an average how many questions are asked every year. So let's say in polity 150 questions are asked in the last 10 years. So on an average, how many questions are asked? 150, that is the total number of questions, divided by the number of years in which these total number of questions have been asked, divided by 10. This gives you 15. That means on an average 15 questions are being asked every year. Does that mean every year 15 and only and exactly 15 has to be asked? No. It can be 10, 15, 20, so on and so forth. The numbers can be different every year, but when you add them all and divide by the number of years, the average that you will get is 15. Okay, so if the average is 15, doesn't mean every year it is 15. It can be more, it can be less, it can be same, but when you average it out, it is 15. So that's the concept of averages. Total number of runs, for example, upon the number of innings. So it would be basically, generally if you have to say, is total quantity upon number of quantities. Let's say total quantity, let's say total runs upon number of innings they have used to make those runs. Number of times quantity is added. Let's say if I give you a quantity of rice, or let us write it in a better way. If I give you a quantity of rice, if I give you salary, if I give you 10 people's salary, so if I give you 10 people's salary, you add this amount of salary divided by the number of people whose salary is. So I hope that is clear. There is no generic formula as such. Whatever number is given, you add the quantity divided by the number of times that it has been given. That's it. Okay, now having said that, let's start with solving the questions so that things would get more clear. So all these questions that we will be solving, of course, will be the previous year questions of UPSC only. So you will know exactly the level, right? Simple questions are there. Of course, it has been seen that the trend is getting tougher for CSAT, but do not worry, it's not used for like say who gets selected for mains. All you have to do is qualify it. So don't worry about that. We will, once we have done with all the chapters, you would be very confident about clearing CSAT as well. Sure. So here's the first question. The average weight of ABC is 40 kgs. Average weight is given. The average weight of BDE is 42 kgs. So ABC is given, BDE's average is given, okay. The weight of F is equal to the weight of B. So F and B weight is equal. What is the average weight of A, B, C, D, E, F? So you will clearly see the average of ABC is given, average of BDE is given. So B is common here as well as B is common here. But also they have utilized or A, B, C, D, E. They have not given F in any of these averages. But they have said that the weight of F is equal to weight of B. So that helps us. Okay. Then they have asked what is the average weight of A, B, C, D, E, F. So instead of A, B, C, D, E, F, it could be A, B, C, D, E, again B, because B and F are same. Okay. Having said that, let's try to solve it. All you have to do in the previous time and work also, I have told you that you have to convert the English language into mathematics. So let's start doing that. The average weight of ABC is 40 kgs. That means what? That means, see, it can so happen that A was 50, B was 40 and C was 30. Right? So what will be the total? 50 plus 40, 90 plus 30, 120. And they would be divided by 3 because they are 3 distinct quantities. So the answer would be 120 by 3. The average would be 40. It can be this or it can be any other possibility. We don't have to worry about it. I am just telling you how to read this, how to interpret this. The average is 40. So on an average, each one of them is 40, 40, 40. That is why the average is coming out to be 40. That is what is meant by average being 40. So since each average is 40, if you add A plus B plus C, what it should give you? 40 plus 40 plus 40, that is 120. So when you are saying A, B, C, their average is equals to 40. Therefore, A plus B plus C equals what? 40 plus 40 plus 40. Clear? Which is equal to what? Which is equal to 120. So, A plus B plus C gives us 120. In the same manner, they are saying that the average weight of BDE is 42. That means what? That means, see, if average of BDE is 42, therefore, B plus D plus E equals what? 42 plus 42 plus 42 equals 126. Clear? Now, we want the average of A, B, C, D, E and F. That means what? That means we want A plus B plus C plus D plus E plus F divided by what? Divided by 6, because these are 6 different terms. So divided by 6. Now, A plus B plus C we have, A plus B plus C we have. Now, D plus E plus F we do not have, we have B plus D plus E. But B is equal to F, therefore this would also be equal to D plus E, and instead of B I can write F. So D plus E plus F, I got 126. D plus E plus F, I can get 126. So this would give me 120 plus 126 divided by 6. 120 plus 126 is 246. 246 divided by 6. Therefore, the average would be 41. The correct answer would be C, 41 kgs. I hope this is clear. It's very simple. We are understanding and doing, so it's taking time, and let it take time. Initial focus, as I said, should be what? Should be the accuracy. Then we will work on speed by solving more questions. Now, let's move on to the second question. Generally, in different kinds of topics, they may come across logical reasoning question, in the sense that you may not even be required to solve it to get the answer, just by logic. Let us see how. There are two classes A and B, right, having 25 and 20 students. So, respectively, that means class A has 25 students, class B has 30 students. In class A, the highest score is 21 and lowest score is 17. In class A, highest score is 21, lowest is 17. In class B, highest score is 30 and lowest score is 22. Clear? Now, understand the concept of highest, lowest and average. If my highest score is 21, my lowest score is 17, right? Then in that case, what will be my... So if my highest score is 21 and lowest is 17, what will be my average? My average will be between 21 and 17. So whatever the highest and the lowest is, my average will lie between that. My average cannot be more than the highest and it cannot be lower than the lowest. Okay, so my average will be between 21 and 17. This you have to remember. Now if you remember this, let's come back to the question. The question is saying highest score is 21 and lowest is 17 in class A, and in class B highest is 30 and lowest is 22. Then what happens? 4 students are shifted from class A to B. 4 students are shifted from class A to B. Now, since class A has highest 21 and lowest 17, its average will be between 21 to 17. Since class B has highest 30 and lowest 22, class B's average would be between 30 to 22. That means class B's average itself is higher than the highest amount in class A, right? So class A, it is safe to assume that class A has a lower average than class B. Since class A has a lower average than class B, so if you shift any 4 students from class A to class B's average will go down. Why? Because even the highest student of class B is having a score lesser than the lowest student of class B. Okay, the highest scorer of class A is having a score lesser than the lowest student of class B. That's why class A's average is lower. So if you transfer any, it does not matter if you transfer a student with 21 marks, 17 marks, doesn't matter. Any student if you transfer, class B's average will go down. So let us see the options. Consider the following statements. The average score of class B will definitely decrease. Yes, it will definitely decrease. The average score of class A will definitely increase. No, we cannot say it will definitely increase or not, because what if 4 of the top students are removed? Then the percentage of top scorers would get less. So the average may go down. If you remove the lowest performing students, then the average may go up. If you reduce such students, it is possible to reduce such 4 students that the average remains same also. So the average of class A may remain same, may increase or may decrease, you cannot say. So this is wrong. So the correct answer is option A, 1 only. Okay. Let's now move on to the next question. Question says the average age of a teacher and 3 students is 20 years. Average age of a teacher and 3 students is 20 years. If all the 3 students are of same age, so if the age of one student is Y, all the 3 students are of the age Y. And the difference between the age of the teachers and each student is 20 years. So if I take the age of teacher equals X, age of students equals Y. So what is the first statement saying? Average age of a teacher and 3 students is 20 years. That means X plus Y plus Y plus Y, 3 times Y, because 3 students are there. So X plus Y plus Y plus Y divided by how much? 4, because 4 people are there. This gives me 20. Therefore, you can say X plus 3Y upon 4 equals 20. Right? This is the equation. Now, the difference between the age of the teacher and each student is 20 years. So, if teacher's age is X, student's age is Y, then difference means X minus Y is how much? X minus Y is 20. Right? X minus Y is 20. Okay. Now, since X minus Y is 20, therefore, Y equals how much? X plus 20. I hope this is clear. Y equals X plus 20. So Y goes that side, becomes positive. Right? Y would not be equal X plus 20, X minus 20. X minus 20. This has to be X minus 20. So Y will go that side, become positive, 20 will come this side, become negative. So Y is X minus 20. Now, you have 2 equations, you have 2 variables, you can solve this equation. How can you solve the equation? You can put the value of Y in this equation and get the answer. This equation, if you simplify, what does it become? X plus 3Y equals 80. This is the equation, correct? Now, here, instead of Y, we can put X minus 20 and let's see what answer we get. So therefore, this equation turns to what? X plus 3 into Y. Y is X minus 20. X minus 20 equals 80. Therefore, X plus 3 into X is 3X. 3 into 20 is 60 with minus sign. Minus 60 is equals to 80. So X plus 3X is what? 4X. 60 goes this side, becomes positive. 80 plus 60 is 140. Therefore, X is how much? 140 upon 4. 4 ones are 4 35s are. So, therefore, X is 35. And guys, what is X? X is the age of the teacher. So the age of the teacher is 35 years, that is option C. So very simple questions are coming in averages. Next question. The average score of a batsman in his 50th inning was 46.4. After 60th innings, his average increases by 2.6. What was his average score in the last innings? Okay. So in the first innings, if the by the 50th innings, if the average was 46.4, that means 50 into 46.4 is the total number of runs that batsman made. By 60th inning, the average increased by 2.6. So now the present average is 46.4 plus 2.6, which gives us what? 46.4 plus 2.6. So this is carry 1, this is 9. So it gives us 49. Okay. So if by 50th inning the average was 46.4, that means the total runs made was 50 into 46.4. By the 60th inning, the average increased to 49. So now the total runs made by that person is 60 into 49. Now the difference between these runs is the runs made between those 10 innings from 50th to 60th. So therefore, runs from 51st innings to 60th innings equals what? 60 into 49 minus 50 into 46.4 equals what? 60 into 49 would be 2940 minus 50 into 46.4 would be 2320. 2320 equals what? Equals 620. Now this 620 runs have been made from 51st to 60th innings. How many innings are there? Total 10. 51st, 52nd, 53rd, 54th, 55th, 56th, 57th, 58th, 59th and 60th. So total, because 51st and 60th inning is also included. So the total is 10 innings. Therefore, average in those 10 innings would be how much? Will be 620 divided by 10 will be equal to 62 runs per inning. So the correct answer is option C, 62. Let's move on to the next question. The average rainfall in a city for first 4 days was recorded to be 0.4 inches. First 4 days, 0.4 inches. The rainfall on the last 2 days was recorded in the ratio of 4:3. 4:3 means it can be 40-30. So when you convert it into ratio, it is the ratio of 4:3. So there will be some common multiple. Let that common multiple be x. Okay. So in the next 2 days, it was 4x and 3x. Then they say the average of 6 days was 0.5. So average of 6 days was 0.5. So 4 into 0.4 plus, let this will become 4x, 4x. This will become 3x plus 3x. And the average of all the 6 days was 0.5. Now there are total 6 days. This 1 day, this is another day, and these 4 days. So you divide the entire thing by 6. This is your equation. Now therefore, 4 into 0.4 is 1.6 plus 4x plus 3x is 7x. 6 multiplied by 0.5 is 3. Right? Now therefore, 7x would be how much? 3 minus 1.6, meaning 1.4. Therefore, x will be how much? 1.4 divided by 7. 1.4 divided by 7. So x becomes how much? 7 ones are 7, 0.2. So x becomes 0.2. Now what is asked? What was the rainfall on the 5th day? 5th day means 4x. So the rainfall on the 5th day will be 4x equals 4 into 0.2 equals what? 0.8. So we got to know that x is 0.2, and what do we want? the rainfall on the 5th day. That means 4 times x. Therefore, rainfall on the 5th day would be 4x equals 4 into 0.2 equals 0.8 inches, and hence the correct answer is option C. Now let's move on to the next question. The question says, suppose the average weight of 9 persons is 50 kgs. Okay, that means each one of them on an average is weighing 50. Of course, we know some may have more, some may have less. Then also it says the average weight of the first 5 person is 45, whereas the average weight of the last 5 person is 55. Okay, then they ask the weight of the 5th person. So first 5 and last 5. So 5th person is common in both of them. So they want to know the weight of the 5th person. So let us look at the very first statement, the second statement. The average weight of first 5 person is 45. So if the average weight of first 5 person is 45, so the total weight of these 45 people would be how much? These 5 people would be how much? 5 into 45, that is 225. The average weight of the total weight of the next 5 people would be how much? 5 into 55, that is 275. Now, if we do that, what is the average weight, total weight coming out to be 500. And how many people we have taken into account? 5 plus 5, 10. So if we take an average, the average comes out to be what? 50 kgs. Now, please note, this is again logical reasoning you have to apply. When we are taking the 5th person with the first 4 person, or the 5th person with the the last 5 persons, or the last 4 persons. This 5th person is getting added to first 4, so it becomes first 5. The 5th person is getting added to the last 4, so it becomes last 5. So when we are adding the 5th person with the first 4, or the 5th person with the last 4, the average is remaining same. You look at the average here. What is the average here? 225. Here the average is 45. But when you add the 5th person, here also you have added the 5th person. Now when you take the total, what is the average? The average is coming out to be 50. Okay. Initially we were given the average of 9 persons, which is equal to 50. Here we are getting the average of 10 persons, which is again 50. That means what? That means that one person which is added is not changing the average. It is keeping the average the same. Means what? Means the weight of this person is actually exactly equal to the average weight of the group. The weight of this person is exactly equal to the average weight of the group. Why? Because it is not changing the average which is given. Clear? Hence the correct answer would be option C. Okay, so these are the kinds of questions that come under averages. Very simple, very straightforward. You should aim to get all the average questions right.